Shalom. Kal halalim la Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Shalom to the prophets of our body, and shalom to the 144,001 third. Wherever you're scattered to the four corners of the earth, may peace and blessings be upon you and your households. I was watching this news segment last night on Channel 4 News. Now, this one is there's this one's about a year old, but there's others that are still on the sort of same, they're on the same trend or the same wavelength or the same, basically on the same subject where people are suffering. And a lot of people are on that universal credit. They can't find jobs. They're on disability. They're not getting their disability payments, or it's taking too long. They're going to food banks to get food because they can't cover, their needs and requirements, and their nourishment. And now a lot of these people that I've seen in these new segments are Edomites, right? Now, granted, we know some of our people look like other nations. I understand that. But through the Spirit, I believe these are all Edomites. So and personally, I don't give a shit about a damn Edomite or a heathen, okay? They didn't give a shit about us. Our people have been going through hell, all right? If you watch all the old documentaries, for as far as the cameras as far back as when cameras came out, okay, we've seen news segments on older Jakes that were slaves, footage from the 1920s and 30s. They're talking about the ill treatment, the delectable Negro, how they used to eat us, how they used to eat our people, how they used to use our skin to make clothes, wallets, shoes, belts, how they used to chop us up into pieces, lynch us, use us for our talents and skill to build America and other parts of the world, and all the music industry and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Everything. We built America. We built this world. This world exists because of Jake, because Jacob is a former of all things. We have the skill and the talent. These crackers don't. Now they're suffering a little bit. Now it's boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Right? Okay. Now I'm going to play it. All right. Now, fair use, 1976, copyright, fair use. Okay. I'm not making no money out of this. All right. And I'm just going to read some scriptures along with the news segment. I might not even play it all, but just want to get to the juicy parts, as they say. All right. And hey, I'm going to let it play. Lord willing, it goes through. If not, we can always throw it onto Odyssey or what's the other one called again? Rumble. But anyway, let's go.
57 and lives in Western. I've been a bus driver. I've driven lorries. Paul is 57 and lives in Weston-super-Mare. This morning, he went to the local food bank in desperation.
Let me see if I get the subtitles up. All right. He's 57, lives in Weston-super-Mare. All right. I've sped it up by one, a little bit, just to sort of, hopefully that'll be enough to keep the YouTube dogs away. But let's go.
I've been a bus driver. I've driven lorries. Paul is 57 and lives in Weston-super-Mare. This morning, he went to the local food bank in desperation. Today, I picked up these cans.
So you've got what? Baked beans, soup, tomato soup.
Chopped tomatoes are back there as well.
He's had no money for days, and what little food he's had to ration to one meal a day. Have you been hungry?
I've been starving. I've been really hungry the last 3 days.
So what did you eat yesterday?
I had fish fingers and beans.
What else did you have?
That's it. That's all I had, was fish fingers and beans for me evening meal.
What about lunch?
No. I did.
Fish fingers and beans is in America, I believe you call them fish sticks. So fish sticks and baked beans.
Just fill up on tea.
He lives alone, and in this, the flat's only other room, keeps the lights off as much as possible. Vehicle repair diplomas adorn mostly bare walls from a career ended prematurely by ill health.
I think I just get scared of going out and seeing other people living their lives. You know, I kind of walk past a pub and everybody's sat outside at lunchtime having a drink. I don't drink, but it's the fact that how can you afford that? That was for September.
Paul receives £843 a month.
Okay, so he sees £843 a month. I've got an exchange rate thing here, right? And after all his expenses, right, he has $40.71 left over. Now let's go to 843. Well, he said 843. That's what he gets. And that's $1,143.85 he gets monthly. And after expenses and paying his rent and everything, he gets 30 quid left over, which is approximately $40.71 left over. Okay. And you see our people in the barrios, in the favelas. Is it favelas? In Brazil, you know, the tribe of Gad, the native Indians, you know, would know hot and cold running water. This guy, this Edomite, is complaining, having one meal a day. Where is this damn devil gone? Right? Okay, you saw the flat screen TV, roof over his head. You know, it's because they are losing their power. All right, so they can feel it because they've always had it so good. Now, the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian man and Israelites in general have been going through hell. All right, have been going through it. You know, and if they are going through hell, usually most Jake families have some kind of extended family member for the most part. But sometimes Jake gets silly and gets too proud, doesn't want to approach their family members for help. Okay, you ladies out there, you Israelite women that are going through this sort of shit, don't be too proud. Approach your brothers, approach your uncles, approach your parents, any family members that you have. There's no harm in asking, okay, if you can live with them or whatever, and do whatever you can to pay your way through, man, even if it's cleaning the house every day. All right, just a side note there.
On universal credit. He's due to get more on health grounds, but right now he's reeling from a recent hike in rent, now costing £620 a month, leaving him a
hike in rent, okay, inflation.
After paying bills and insurance with,
on average, £30 for the month. That's for food, washing.
You can see the anguish in his face. Look at his face like he's about to cry. All right. See, these curses are slowly but surely coming on the so-called white man. That's Deuteronomy 30, verse 7. All right, where these curses are coming slowly but surely on our enemies. All right, and I love it. I love it. All right, our people have been going through hell. What did the crackers say? Pick yourself up by your what do they say? By your bootstraps, or pull yourself up by your bootstraps, or some shit like that. All right. Okay. Let's go here. Ezekiel 4:16. Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight, and with care, and they shall drink water by measure, and with astonishment. Now, it hasn't got to the point where, you know, food is not available. It's there, but the thing is, it's a lack of finances to acquire that food and drink. Now, so people, as well as our people, are going through this as well, but the heathens are going through it as well, where they are eating their food and drink with measure. All right, you heard what he said. He goes, I fill myself up with tea all day, you know, making cups of tea, right? Then in the evening I have my meal. And he said I had some fish sticks and some baked beans. So he has like a meal a day. And then he goes to the food bank to get free food because people donate foods. All right. You go to this local supermarket. If you're doing shopping, you might buy a can of beans or a can of SpaghettiOs or some shit like that, or a box of cereal, and chuck it in the food bank. So that food is taken over to these establishments, and they donate it to people that I need, whether it's milk or juice or whatever it is. All right. So people are eating their food and drink with measure. So the Lord is breaking the staff of bread, and it's going to get to the point where it's going to really increase. And these individuals are going to be perfect candidates to take the charagma. All right. They're already on universal credit. All right. And Esau, the so-called white man, is making it so hard for people that are supposed to be the indigenous to this land, which they're not. The so-called white man is indigenous to England, right? Making it so hard for them. And then on top of that, they give money freely to the heathen nations like Somalians and other nations and stuff like that. Because Somalians are living lovely, man. The Arabs and stuff, they're all hunky-dory, happy and shit every day. 20, 30 in a house, and they're like pigs and shit, man. They're happy. They got money coming in, different vehicles. You know what I mean? And none of them work. They just go to the back and forth to the mosque every day, ordering Uber Eats. But each sort of so-called white man is suffering, you know. But yeah, and then you got on top of that the lack of work. Now, then you got people out there that do have a job, but they still can't afford to pay their rent. A lot of people are living in their vehicles, they're living in tents, they're living in cars, and they're using the gym to wash their ass, right, to stay fresh. So they can save a few quid. And it's happening worldwide. It's not just in the UK, not just in America, ground zero, not just in Australia, New Zealand, or whatever. Obviously, with the warmer climate countries, you can sort of do an outdoorsy sort of situation. But in the UK, where it's usually sort of like a moderate, cool kind of weather, similar to New York, but New York is a little bit more harsher with the cold. It's a little bit harder to do that. And then people that don't have jobs are suffering greatly. But the people that do have jobs, they're suffering a little less compared to the people that don't have jobs. All right. So Haggai 1:6, ye have sown much and bring in little, and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. All right. So wherever you're earning is going straight, into your bag of money. It's just falling out. Like it's like an ongoing running tap. It just keeps coming out. You're not saving nothing. You have nothing for a rainy day. You have nothing for a holiday. You don't have nothing to sort of treat yourself. Okay. That's what's happening right now. Let's go back to the video.
Because I have to use a laundrette to do my washing. And so, that's expensive. No.
So £30?
Yeah. I have started washing in the sink.
The amount you've got in your bank account currently?
11 pence.
He's got 11 pence in his bank account to save money, even going to the laundrette, which is to go and wash your clothes. Right? He's washing his clothes in the sink.
And that's it.
Today's report by the Joseph Rowntree Foundation estimates the number of people experiencing destitution in the UK has more than doubled in the last 5 years. Such severe.
Obviously, there's more new segments as well, where it's gone even more harsher. Now, as time is going by, it's going to get even more harsher. And this new segment is about a year old. So how much more even now? Now, I found other new segments that are from recent times, like February 2025 and all that kind of thing. But this one, I just thought I'd just use this as an example. Okay.
The hardship, they say, is no longer a rare occurrence.
Do you want some extra milk, love?
Oh, yes, please.
Got loads of milk.
Gareth, who's 55, finds himself at the same food bank as Paul, a welder fabricator, until he says a spinal issue affecting his hands made that too difficult.
I need a new pair of boots. Yeah, I'll struggle to buy a postcard with a pair of boots on it. Do you know what I mean? It's like I can't afford anything. Sometimes I have to share a can of tuna with a cat because we're that skin. You get to a stage where you just think, what's the point? This is not living. This is not even surviving. Everything I hold dear in the last year since I've been signed off as born, really.
His application for disability benefits, he says, is proving long and arduous. A common theme, says today's report.
Do you like salami?
Another, as this food bank tells us, is that many simply can't afford essential items with the universal credit income they get.
Sometimes we actually counted, and in a session where we did 32 parcels, 30 people asked for toilet paper. Some people, it's the first thing that, when you say, just ask them for their voucher number and their name, and the first thing they say is, I need toilet paper more than anything else. And it's just, yeah.
It is, says today's report, a social security system now so full of holes that it falls to charities to intervene, but adds the task is too great for them. Its finding of a sharp rise in destitute migrant households chimes with what Bristol's Borderlands charity has seen. There's barely a spare seat at their weekly lunch for refugees and asylum seekers, while the numbers queuing for a handout of fruit and veg grow ever larger.
Thank you very much.
Are people asking you for more food, more than you can give them?
Absolutely. I think with the food we give it, we kind of cover a week for a family, and every week there is.
Francisco Salgado. It looks probably more than likely a Jake. Well, then again, now you got other nations in the process as well, you know, and you got Jake helping out, and but for the most part, this is definitely affecting Esau. All right, definitely affecting the Edomites, because so-called asylum seekers and other nations are not going to be, because what it is, they want to create that disparity between the so-called indigenous and the foreigners. They want to make sure that the foreigners that are coming off the boat are living lovely in those hotels or apartments or whatever, getting loans and getting money. They want to make sure that there's that disparity is there. They want to create that. Now, a lot of people that are so-called asylum seekers or that are on benefits or whatever, they will still come to this place to save a few quid, just to say, okay, I'm destitute, I need help, X, Y, and Z, and they'll take the stuff anyway, even though if they're okay. All right, so there's two sides to every coin, but this is affecting everyone collectively. But so far, from what I can tell, this is mainly affecting Esau. I saw a couple of heathens in the background, Ishmael and Elam and that, but let's go.
People asking for different items we just can't provide.
Is there always a big queue like this?
Yes, absolutely. Like, it's growing every week.
Warnings grow around the impact destitution can have, particularly on children, with as many as 1 million in the UK affected last year, so claims today's report. Back in Weston-super-Mare, we meet Jasmine, a single parent to Henry.
Good boy.
She's in paid work.
Single parent. Deuteronomy 30 verse 7. Curses coming on these Edomites, right? Now, go back 40, 50 years. This same woman, Jasmine, she wouldn't be dressed like that. She'd be wearing a dress, heels, right? And a husband with his quiff, his slick back hair, and his suit would be walking beside her, side by side, smoking a pipe or a cigar, all right? And it would be either be walking to the pub to have dinner, and their baby would be with them. That's how it would have been. But now, fast forward today, these curses are coming on these curses are coming on these Edomites. She's walking alone, baby there. She's a single mother, and she looks like trash. All right, let's go.
Part-time cleaner and receptionist training to be a counsellor. She receives universal credit, but has debt, has needed the food bank, and has skipped meals, she says, so Henry has enough.
Toast.
She is only just managing to avoid what the Joseph Rowntree Foundation would define as destitution.
Cheese, yeah. I now know these next 2 months are going to be really hard because at the moment I can only just afford my gas and electric, and I know my gas is now about to triple. I think last winter, so January time, it was -2. It was freezing. Like, I had him wrapped in everything, and my gas cut off. I'd gone over the emergency credit.
How are you feeling generally at the moment, in all honesty?
I mean, there's good days and bad days. I feel at the moment guilty and frustrated because it's his birthday on the weekend and I haven't been able to afford to get him anything. I've only just covered the bills this month. My mum has to do a food shop for me last week. So I just don't feel good as a person. I just feel like I'm not doing enough, even though I probably actually am.
Turning the tide on destitution, said the charity behind today's report, is an urgent moral mission. The circumstances that you find yourself in would, in line with this report, characterise you as destitute?
Yes. It's not a word that I've ever used in my life. Never thought I'd have to use it. But that's scary.
Well, it's going to get scarier for you, devil. All right? We have no sympathy for you. All right? You're 2/3 out there. They're probably say, oh, let's help them. Let's help them. Well, you can help them. Let's see how much to help you when that time comes. All right. Let's go to 2nd Esdras 15:14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Verse 15. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right. You can see all these Edomites, they're clicking up. You got racist groups from America and the UK. They're clicking up. They're online trying to share tactical war tactics and how to do this and how to do that and fighting techniques. You're seeing a bunch of Edomites in parks and other locations as training. Okay, you won't see no brown face or tan face there. You'll see mainly Edomites because they are preparing for a race war. All right, and there's sedition. They're coming together. Sedition basically means they're coming together and they're talking amongst each other. They're commiserating and saying, okay, this is what we're going to do, X, Y, and Z. This person's a problem, that person's a problem, and they don't give a shit about no Trumps, no Keir Starmers, no MPs. They don't give a shit about that no more. All that is out the window. All right, all that is out the window. All right, and a lot of people are fed up. And Esau, the so-called white man, when they see people that don't look like them doing well, they're going to blame the people that don't look like them. And this is going to lead to a race war. All right. Jeremiah 30 verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Now, Jacob's trouble is for you crackers, heathens, non-Israelites, and you 2/3. He shall be saved out of it is talking about the elect. The elect are going to be untouched. Psalms 91 and 11. The Lord will have his angels around us. Okay. And Psalms 91 says that, 1,000 shall, 10,000. No, let me go there. I don't want to butcher it. Psalm 91, 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand. King James Version. I think it's that one. I just want to make sure I say it correctly. I don't want to butcher it, Lord willing. I don't want to butcher it. Psalms 91 and 7. 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. No matter what it is. All right. That's where faith comes in. And faith is a gift. So the elect are going to be good. They're going to be good. All right. They're going to be good. All right. And all these individuals that are suffering like that, don't have jobs, are washing their clothes in their sink, are counting their pennies, are counting what they can eat, are measuring their food and drink, filling themselves up with tea until they can have a meal in the evening. All right. Single parents, elderly, their benefits are taking ages to come through, even if whether they'll come through or not is another story, are going to be perfect candidates. All right. To take the charagma, which is the CHIP, right? Let's go there. Revelation 13:15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. The image of the beast is the charagma, right? Their new monetary system. All right. So if you don't bow down to it, you're going to be deleted. All right. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. So you're going to have the poor that don't have shit. They want something, so they're going to take the charagma. They're going to have the rich that want to hold on to what they have. They're going to take the charagma. All right. You're going to have prisoners, that want to come out, want early release. They're going to take the charagma. All right. Charagma in Greek means insertion or incision into the flesh, which is a CHIP, the RF to the I to the D. I'm saying it why I'm saying it because of the algorithms of Esau, the YouTube, and all that bullshit. Right? Okay? So there's a multitude of ways where people are going to be enticed to take it. All right? Some will be forced. Some will just willingly take it because they have no other choice. Optimism is out the window. But the elect are not going to take it. They're not going to be deceived because they are the elect. Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Okay, verse 18. You won't be able to buy or sell. How the fuck are you going to buy or sell? That's going to be the new form of currency. All right? Ain't going to be a Caesar Borgia. Oh, I worship Caesar Borgia. Give me 2 loaves of bread and several cans of beans and a couple of bottles of sparkling water. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be the literal scanning of the forehead or the hand. All right? Verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right? So these are perfect candidates for the charagma. All right? And we're going in that direction. And this video, this segment, as mentioned, this new segment is a year old, and obviously it's amplified even further. People that are destitute, they don't have no money. All right, so this is a good thing. We are seeing the demise of this Edomite world. We're seeing the fear in these Edomites' eyes. If you want to see fear, look at that devil face again. Where is it? Let's find that shit. That devil's face. Where he was standing outside. Look at that. You telling me that's happiness? All right. Go back 40, 50 years. Right. Go back to his childhood. Everything was lovely. All right. Now all his power, everything is being drained out of this devil. And this face is going to get worse and worse and worse because you have no happiness coming your way, you Edomites. And you Edomites are you so-called white people, you Caucasians. All right. And if I'm not talking about you heathen nations, you other non-Israelites, you Ishmaelites, you Elamites, you real African Hamites, you ugly black ass Zulu looking motherfuckers, you pygmies and shit, you're gonna get it too. All right. But the so-called white man, this is his rulership, hence the reason why the focus is on this piece of shit all the time. All right. Because he's a problem of the earth. But anyway, this is a good thing. All praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rakah Kodash. We are seeing the demise of the so-called white man's world in real time, and these individuals are perfect candidates for the charagma. Anyway, all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rakah Kodash. Mawatha Bad Baba Kwame Yashrala Shalom.